welcome to the 35th Anniversary Phoenix Awards, a presentation of Citizen Action of New York. This event took place on September 28, 2022, in Endwell, New York, at Atrio Banquets and Catering. The Phoenix Awards recognize those individuals from our community who have worked tirelessly to create a more just and humane society. Thank you for watching.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 35th anniversary of the Phoenix Awards. This is the part where you're supposed to clap. Yeah, I mean, 35 years is, a monumental thing. So I think that everyone should, be very excited to be here, just as I am. So we're here at the Phoenix Awards, as always, to honor people who have been doing the work tirelessly in this community. A lot of times we have people who are doing the work behind the scenes. Everyone knows they're doing it, but they're not out front. So the Phoenix Awards is really about honoring those people who are unsung heroes. And so that is what we're doing today. And the Phoenix is a symbol of life, and it's about emerging out of the ashes. And everyone that we are honoring here today is a part of that, for the Southern Tier. So thank you all so much for coming, and we are going to start giving out our awards. Except I might be missing someone. Am I? Okay. I was wondering. I was trying to make sure. Okay, so the first award recipient is Miss Roseanne Greco, and it will be presented. Yes. So, and it will be presented by Andy. Okay.
Good evening. It's good to see you all here. Roseanne Greco, she represents the best of the many overlapping communities that we have here tonight. Her no-nonsense radicalism and commitment to social justice causes is drawn from her experiences as a working-class Italian-American Catholic woman from Endicott, who experienced the abominations of incarceration firsthand. I don't agree with King that the arc of the moral universe bend towards justice. It is not a law of the moral universe in my estimation. But I do think that people can bend our society towards justice. Over her lifetime, that's exactly what Roseanne has done. She's bent us towards justice by dragging, lifting, heckling, kicklining, laughing, chauffeuring, showing up, sign-making, protesting, grant writing, sharing clothes, and serving hummus. There is more justice in this world, in our town, and for incarcerated and formerly incarcerated people because of Roseanne and her thousands of acts, big and small. Reading through her biography before I tried to write this, I was amazed at the list of activities she's been engaged in, so many of which preceded mass attention. I came to know Roseanne over the last 6 years when we formed Justice and Unity in the Southern Tier, with a dozen or so others in 2016. By that time, Roseanne had already been working on local incarceration issues for over 10 years. Her focus with various organizations and activists, like another honoree tonight, the much beloved and missed Larry Parham, has long been on post-incarceration life. She and Larry, along with several others, were the force behind the formation of the Broome County Reentry Task Force. But her work on incarceration issues stretches back to the 1990s and far before. She performed early work on aging in prison and started a precocious parenting program at Bedford Hills. Both of these issues are now the widely discussed in reform and abolitionist circles. She's in many ways a pioneer. In my experience with Roseanne through Just and Walk With Me, I came to admire Roseanne's deeply rooted solidarity for those among us for those without social power, those people fighting for justice. In Just, she taught those of us who had not been incarcerated how to work for and with incarcerated people, not on their behalf. That often means doing the unheralded but critical work, far away from the protests and pickets, although she's done plenty of that, as many pictures will attest to, of performing the mundane work of supporting incarcerated people and forming incarcerated people on their way to stability. I'm not quite sure how many beds, chairs, and other furniture I've moved at Roseanne's behest, but I know it's not even close to how many she or the others that she's lampooned into it have moved. Just the other night, Roseanne was called to assist an unhoused person recently dumped on a Friday evening, of course, out of the Broome County Jail. That was not the first time she was called on a Friday night. I'd be surprised if it was the 1,000th. And of course, tomorrow, she'll be serving breakfast at the Broome County Jail, welcoming those back, people to visit at the Broome County Jail. Because as you know, the visitation at the Broome County Jail has been closed for 2.5 years. And so Just, and Roseanne in particular, will be there welcoming people back. And one of the things I most admire is that Roseanne always punches up. She challenges power when others are too often, as she points out, too feckless, narrow-minded, or self-interested to do anything about it. You know exactly who I'm talking about, of course. One of my favorite memories of Roseanne is the kick line she started at Wilson Hospital in protest of the much maligned Broome County Jail lead medical authority, Dr. Boot. Give Boot the boot! That was her slogan. She shouted while alternating kicking her feet left and right, a racket for justice. She got the rest of our small gathering mostly heckled, ignored, at best eyed suspiciously, moving our feet and using our voices to denounce Wilson Hospital's complicity in the jail's well-documented medical abuses. Or when she stood up to denounce both the district attorney candidates at an open forum, or when she called out the head of DSS for being the only entity evicting people during COVID. That's Roseanne. These are the values that she not only brought to Just and Walk With Me, but injected to the fiber of each of us, into this community. She showed up, she pushed power, and brought food. Her accomplishments are many. She has developed organizations like Walk With Me, which Roseanne would not want me to miss the opportunity to encourage people to donate to Walk With Me. The only organization in Broome County that assists people coming out of the Broome County Jail that's rooted in a peer entry model. She's achieved degrees, she's been in countless meetings, she's started many of them, but the outcomes of these have been more than her personal accomplishments. She has created community wherever she's went. Whether it's our small Just group, that's just as much a family as anything else, at St. Anthony of Padua, and I need the recipe to the wine smoothie, please. Or the Stella de Argento Lodge. Along the way, she's mentored more people than is countable, myself amongst them. I couldn't be prouder this evening to introduce the 2022 Phoenix Award recipient, my comrade, my friend, and my mentor, the incomparable Roseanne Greco.
Okay. Thank you for showing up. I'm grateful to receive this Phoenix Award. I never expected to receive an award for the work that I do every day. I'd like to thank Citizen Action and Maddie Irvin, who pushed for my nomination. I am truly grateful. Maddie sent me an email, and she says, I decided to send you this message since I will not be in attendance at the upcoming Phoenix Award ceremony on September 28th. Please know that you are considered a shero, as witnessed by me and others related to your tenacity and commitment in working with and standing up for individuals without a voice. Congratulations to you and the other awardees being honored on September 28th. I am honored to be a member of the committee charged with identifying such talent. Maddie Irving. I came to realize it's not where you go in life, it's who you have beside you that matters. I was fortunate to have unwavering support along my wide-ranging journeys, and they were wide and they were ranging. Oh, I'd like to thank my biological family, my acquired family, the Hamptons, Davises, thank you. My just family, my lifelong friends, 50 plus years, they're all sitting over there. And my Italian-American heritage affiliations, my lodge members in the middle, thank you. I would be remiss if I didn't mention the collaborations with numerous food pantries, healthcare navigators, the professors at BU, and other local organizations that assisted me with meeting the needs of the people that I served. Kudos to the employers that identified my potential and gave me a chance in spite of my criminal history. They played a significant role in my rise from the ashes. Transitional Opportunities Corporation, Vocational Rehab Services, Fairview Recovery Services, Industrial Medicine Associates, and of course, Family Enrichment Network. I would not have met the criteria for this award without all your belief that my ideas were valuable and the resources and support provided me. My personal and professional development was enhanced by all of you. Most of you know that I'm a fighter.
You know too well.
Fear is not a factor, and sometimes I bear the wounds for it. Overall, my life has been deeply enriched by my dedication to education, vocation, volunteerism, and community activism. Not all the experiences and work in these places and situations have been pleasant. Far from it. I learned early on the difficulties we face with loss and how we need to overcome obstacles together. From the early passing of my mother, through the care and eventual passing of my quadriplegic brother, to the death of my 12-year-old son, and to the triumphs through the years of incarceration. These experiences provided not only obstacles, but the challenge to assist others as we move through the difficult passages of our lives. I have one lingering thought. How could we not assist to serve each other? Did you hear me? How could we not assist to serve each other? I'm asking each of you to take a step forward, take action, and compete well for justice. Volunteer at a local food pantry, or a community meal. Become an advocate for those who are unable to do for themselves. Engage in activism for the incarcerated, the homeless, the disabled, voting rights, affordable housing. If you don't have time, consider donating to a worthy cause. It's not a handout, it's humanity. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, no, you took much more time as you needed. Okay, that's it. Yep, we're all good.
Go, Roro.
Now you know that that is an activist and organizer when you end your speech with a call to action, right? Thank you for your decades of service. Everyone, please give her a round of applause again. Okay, so our next recipient of the Phoenix Award is the Northside Mutual Aid Project. So I'm gonna ask Dominic to come up here and, yes, and talk about the Northside Mutual Aid.
Hey everyone, excuse me, I've never used a microphone before. So I'm Dominic Michelizzi, I'm a board member, and I brought my friend Natalie up here.
My name is Natalie Pompey. I was an intern with Citizen Action. I was a volunteer with Northside Mutual Aid, so I did help with the food pantry. I was very involved, and I was also a canvasser with Miss Leo Webb, who's here. So happy everybody's here. I wanted to begin with defining mutual aid. Mutual aid is an idea and practice that is based on the principles of direct action, cooperation, mutual understanding, and solidarity. Mutual aid is not charity, but the building and continuing of new social relations where people give what they can and get what they need outside of unjust systems of power. So as somebody who volunteered there, I really learned from the three people that led it, which were Taj, Meg, and Ashley, who unfortunately could not be here tonight. They were absolutely amazing as organizers and as community leaders. They saw what the community needed and they worked very tirelessly to give Binghamton what it needed. And they worked so very hard, and watching them work so very hard, I learned a lot. I learned a lot as somebody who helps in the community, so it was incredible. So at the height of the pandemic, the folks who ran Northside Mutual Aid distributed food, clothing, and personal protective equipment to thousands of families and individuals across Broome County. No questions asked, no information collected. Moving over to Don.
So we want to thank everyone who's volunteered their time and those who've donated goods to Northside Mutual Aid over the past 2 years. It truly shines as an example of how we need to move forward working together, taking care of each other as we collectively survive in this capitalist hellscape society that values money over people. Mutual aid is not charity, but the building and continuing of new social relations where people give what they can and take what they need, outside of unjust systems of power. It's a privilege to present this award to Northside Mutual Aid, specifically Taj, Meg, and Ashley, who worked tirelessly to organize and sustain it all.
And Salka will be accepting this award on their behalf since they couldn't be here today. But I'm sure she wants to say a few words about them, right?
Yes. Thank you. So, I talk really loud. Y'all can hear me, right? So the members of the Mutual Aid, Northside Mutual Aid, these are some incredible people. Like I don't even have the words. They're so incredible. And it was to the point they didn't even want to accept an award for what they did. They were like, we didn't do it for recognition. We didn't do it for any type of award. So this is why I'm accepting it for them, because still, they deserve it. Like, these young people really went out when COVID happened and the students had to go back. A lot of things get thrown away, like mini fridge, microwaves, appliances, food. They went out and collected all of these things to make sure they're redistributed to the people in the community that were facing hardship. That's something amazing. And the fact that we didn't collect no ID, no birth certificate, no nothing. It was, if you need it, come get it. And if you have it to give, then give it. And, it ran for a few years, and still till today, it's still, we're still giving out things. We have a shelf in front of Citizen Action where if you have like canned goods, things like that, food, you could come and put it on the shelf, and people who walk by, they pick up. People who have, they drop off. So, we're continuing the legacy. It's not as big as the distribution and how we had the pantry, but like Roseanne said, like, if you can help, help. We should be serving each other. It's not like, it shouldn't be about the haves and the haves not at all. We all are put here to be together and to love one another and to make sure we all have. So thank you so much to Northside Mutual Aid, and we're gonna always continue the effort of mutual aid. Thank you.
I think Salka said it all about Northside Mutual Aid, but if you did not know, then they are some of the most fantastic people that I've ever met. And as other places and organizations, shut down their pantries and all those kind of things, Northside Mutual Aid continued to meet the need. And I think one of the biggest things also is that, fresh produce was given. And a lot of times at pantries, that's not something that happens. So their dedication was unwavering and continues to be, because many of them are still working in the community or back at home working and doing this work. So last but not least, we will be presenting the final Phoenix Award to Larry Parham posthumously. And so Dr. Yule is going to come and do the presentation, and I would be remiss if I didn't say for myself that, Larry was a mentor of mine, and I would not be the organizer and facilitator that I am if not for being under Larry's tutelage, and for him seeing something in me and be like, okay, actually the student has surpassed the teacher. You don't need me anymore. And that doesn't happen often. So, Larry, wherever you are, we love you and we miss you, and I'm gonna call Dr. Yule now.
So I'm going to go pretty quickly because the person that's going to accept the award for Larry has to leave. I want to tell you that always, every day, I don't go a minute without thinking about Larry and feeling his spirit in my presence, right? I don't know what you can say about someone like Larry. I mean, it's hard to find just a few words in 5 minutes to kind of sum up someone who was an original, who was irreplaceable, who was the consummate care person, who cared about everybody. I see a lot of people that he mentored and helped in this room today. He meant a lot to so many, and I'm every day as I kind of live my life and go around Broome County, there's not a day that goes by when you mention Larry's name or you show Larry's picture that people don't say something about the impact he made in their lives or that he made in the community. It happens every day. So tonight, as I think we will continue to do, even after this night, we celebrate Larry's life again, right? It is really fitting that he's in the company of the folks that he's in, because he loved Roseanne. You know, he would be so happy. I see that I really believe he's smiling down on us. You know, his life is going to be continually celebrated because his impact and imprint on this community was vast, it was deep, and it was very wide, you know. And people continually find ways to kind of celebrate his legacy, you know, by offering awards in his name. You know, CARES, an organization that he co-founded, has a Larry Parham Activism Award for students. So, and it's fitting that the first recipient of that award is a young man who was a community activist that he really respected, Jabari Randolph. You know, and it's also fitting that Jabari finds himself working at the YWCA in the very job that Larry kind of helped to create. And, you know, Larry would be super proud to have the experience, but he probably would be a little bit gun shy because he wasn't a person that was out front looking for awards, right? But I think he would have been really tickled about the fact that the Black Excellence Awards also created an award honoring him and his legacy, the Larry Parham Social Impact Award. So Larry's desire to make social impact came as a result of his own upbringing. He came from poverty, he grew up in the South, you know, and he just learned through his life how to love people, and he loved helping people no matter who they were, what station in life they came from, what background they were, what racial status they had. He just loved people. You know, Larry accepted you as you were. You know, he never, you know, considered himself above anybody, and he never considered people not worthy of help, right? His humility, compassion, and integrity were not adornments. They embodied the very person that he was. Larry always made himself available, giving what is our most valuable asset, time, right? He was always willing to listen to anybody. He was always willing to help somebody, and he would go out of his way to help. So when people saw, you know, as Roseanne kind of alluded to, there's a time when people are not considered of value in the society, right? But people that don't have social value, Larry saw them, and he always saw their social value, but more importantly, he saw who they could be, right? He always saw who you could be. As a community organizer, he never had to be out front, he didn't need to be visible, he just did the work. His goal was always to build collectives to move communities forward. He didn't want to be the drum major in the parade, you know, but he was a drum major in our community, a drum major for justice. He continued to honor his life, you know, I mean, you all must take up the mantle and keep fighting for justice. You must all fight for rights, but do so with strategy and purpose, right? Because that was who Larry was. You know, Larry had a heart to serve others, and he co-created and worked in a lot of innovative local programs. He was here working for over 20 years as a grassroots organizer fighting for racial, social, environmental, and economic justice. I want to just share a few things that he did. He was a former upstate campaign manager and served on the State Board of Directors for Citizen Action of New York. He developed an anti-racism curriculum and co-facilitated a number of statewide anti-racism workshops. He's recognized locally and statewide as an expert on anti-racism, cultural responsiveness, restorative justice, and grassroots organizing. He was sought out by many to conduct workshops to create a more inclusive work environment. He was a founding member of the Southern Tier Social Justice Project. He was instrumental in helping spearhead the development of the Broome County Reentry Task Force, and which was run primarily by formerly incarcerated individuals and their allies. He served for years as a vice chair in the board of directors of the Broome County Urban League. He was a member of the Broome Tioga NAACP. He served on the advisory board of the Community Foundation, who you must give a shout out for because of how they've taken care of the other organization that he started, CARES. They have cared for us in Larry's absence. He was the founding CEO of CARES, the program started a mentoring program where parents go into the schools to help address disproportionality and disparities in public education. I'm happy a couple of the founding parents in that group are here today. And his role at CARES, he was not just an advocate and activist, he was also a scholar. He co-authoring papers and presenting at national conferences, which in itself is not that big of a deal, but for a young man who just had a high school diploma, who people didn't look at as very smart, it was quite an achievement. He was a co-founder of Binghamton Witnessing Whiteness Community and Embrace Seminars, which offered and will continue to offer a 12-week series designed for multiracial groups to build toward anti-racism work, right? All of Larry's work utilizes models of community. He was always about relation building, relational politics. How can we get together? How can we understand each other better? It is, for Larry, his commitment to serve was never because he was looking for the limelight. And honestly, I think he should have got this award years ago, But I'm grateful that he got it tonight. I'm grateful that you guys are remembering Larry. I don't think that Larry's a spirit that can be forgotten easily. Larry would tell you to go out and let your humanity shine, right? That was the things he would say. He would say you would go out and look for ways to help. Go out and build a community. Go out and find ways to bring people together. That was who Larry Parham was. So it's my great honor and privilege to present this Phoenix Award for Larry Parham to the love of his life, Cheryl DeRosa.
It is an honor and a privilege to stand before you this evening to accept the 2022 Phoenix Award in behalf of Larry Parham. It is the symbol of our vision of a world based on racial, social, economic, and environmental justice. Larry's passion for community activism was a labor of love that lives on in the hearts and minds of all those whose lives he touched. His legacy is one of inclusion, accepting challenges and successes with grace, humility, and dignity, and always moving forward. Thank you so much to Citizen Action and to all of you that were part of Larry's journey and for being here tonight. Larry would have been so proud and humbled by this great honor. Thank you.
Yes, Larry, I would be remiss if I didn't say, Larry deserved this award a long time ago, but as a longtime Citizen Action board member and state board member, it is just, you have to wait till you're done your work. And he never finished his work. He never finished. So that is the only reason why he hadn't been honored. With that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Stevie Vargas, who is our Citizen Action Regional Director.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me? I'm going to make sure I project because I'm not going to lie, that was really emotional. I love absolutely being in community with everyone, and this serves as a reminder of why we do this work. everyone who does this work is called to it for some reason, because we all want to create a caring society that focuses on our humanity and serving our basic needs. Now, I don't know how many people are religious, but I'm very spiritual, and I see this as our calling. And it serves as a reminder to give people their flowers, because as we know, this is thankless work, and it's draining. And many of us are doing this, and we're serving from empty cups, right? We're exhausted. It's important to pass the baton, find your community, find your network, so that we are replenishing our energy sources so that we can pass the baton, because Larry's been doing this work and it didn't end. So what are we doing to make sure that we are keeping his legacy alive? It's by making sure that we are relying on each other, whether it's through organizing, through advocacy, through mutual aid. There is no role too small in this movement. We are movement builders, and we will create a better community and a better society for our children, for our grandchildren, and for the future. So Citizen Action is absolutely proud and honored to honor those doing the work. And I'm the regional director for Southern Tier, Rochester, and Buffalo, and I have a lot of pride in my regions, and I can say that Binghamton has by far surpassed some of my other regions in how we come into community with one another. Binghamton serves as an example of what we can achieve when we put personal agendas to the side and come together, because there is a place for everybody in this movement. And I'll say the first time I came here, it was for Leah Webb's primary. And I was absolutely shocked. I walk into the office, there's people with food. They're like, "You hungry? You look like you didn't eat." I'm checking into the hotel. They're saying, "What were you here for?" And I'm like, "I'm working on Leah Webb's primary." "Oh my God, I know Leah." Solka, who I'm here to support, reminds me, "You need to eat, girl. I haven't seen you eat anything. You've been working all day." And I ordered my food, and I had it delivered to the office, and the delivery driver notices Solka's car, and apparently it's the same car that Larry drives. And he's like, "Oh, does Larry still work here?" And so that just showed me how close-knit Binghamton is. I have not gone anywhere in this city where I have not mentioned what I'm doing, and somebody knows somebody. Somebody knows Leah, because they know that she's been in this community doing the work and she serves the people. People know Larry, people know Solka, and it's absolutely beautiful to see. And it's because we are all movement builders, and Citizen Action is proud to honor you, give you your flowers. And this serves as a reminder of why mentorship is so important. We do not do this work alone. We may have come into this world alone, and we might leave alone, but while we're here, we do this together. And so, I also want to remind people, you may have seen these little pamphlets on your seat, and it's our mission at Citizen Action that our purpose and our mission is driven by the people. We don't do anything without you, without your input. You determine what we do and how we move, because nobody knows better what our community needs than the people on the ground. So we hope that you join us in this movement and you become members, because without you guys, we would not have gotten $4.1 billion for public education for our students. We would not have one on bail reform, where they were keeping people in jail simply because they could not afford to get out. And we would not have won many of the regional policies that work to make our lives better and create a more caring society. So thank you, and with that, I'm going to pass it to Solka for our closing remarks, I believe.
I'm sad to be going behind Stevie. That was amazing. She's such a poetic person. She didn't even write nothing down. So my name, for those who don't know me, my name is Salka Valerio, and I am the community organizer here at Citizen Action on the Southern Tier. Thank you so much to everybody for showing up. And thank you, the honorees. Like we said again, time and time again, you guys been deserved this award. long time ago. Been doing this work for a long time. I also want to say a few words about Larry, because Larry definitely is the reason why I'm here too. You know, Larry recognized something in me, and he spoke to that. You know, and he would always encourage me. You could go up there. You could go up there. You could speak. You know, you could be a change maker. And he also always spoken to my son. Every time he seen, I'm about to cry. Sorry. Right. But Larry recognized that I was a single mom, and he would always encourage me and always spoke life into my son as well. And that was something very special to me because it's hard. So for him to always, wherever he see me or wherever he see my son, he took the time to make sure he spoke into us. So I would forever be grateful to Larry for that. I was not expecting to cry. I barely even cried. Thank you to all our sponsors, Community Foundation. Thank you guys for our sponsorship. Thank you to staff. Thank you to Donna Lepardo. Thank you to the NAACP, Lost Dog. Thank you for Binghamton Department of Human Development. Thank you to Leah Webb, and thank you to UUP Family Planning. We really appreciate you guys. Without you guys, this work can't be done. Now we're gearing up for the next legislation time, so that means I'm going to be really busy. So that means you're going to get 100 phone calls and a lot of emails from me, because without that, you know, we don't win the fight. They don't just wake up and give us what we deserve. We have to go out and we have to fight for it. So we have to put our armor up now to make sure that we fight for the next period to get the things that we need. Right now we're going to be fighting for good cause, which is extremely important because housing is a really big issue here in Binghamton, New York. There's lots of people that's on the street, people that have been incarcerated, come home and can't find nowhere to go. The hotels that they usually used to go to is packed up with families because there's not enough family housing. They're saying that they're building development, but if you look at it, most of the development is 2-bedroom, 1-bedrooms, and studios. We need to be able to house families. So I am still fighting that fight. If you know Donna, make sure you call her up and tell her to sign up on Good Cause, because we need it. That's my job, to get y'all to do that. So you can find me at Capitol Hill in Albany, screaming and fighting for more affordable housing and also for more tenant protection and also for more bail reform stuff too as well, because they're trying to roll these things back. So we're gonna keep on fighting. Thank you everybody for coming. Thank you everybody for supporting us. Make sure you also volunteer for Leah Webb campaign, because we need her in Senate. And that's it.
Board members and volunteers, and I don't think it's inadequate.
And we also would like to thank our board members. If you're a board member, could you please stand up? I know, I'm sorry, putting you on blast, but whatever. These are our wonderful board members that keep us moving. Thank you so much. Also, thank you to Maddie Irvin. She's not here, but she's definitely a force on our Phoenix committee. Thank you to her. And also all of our volunteers that's a part of the Phoenix committee. They made all of this possible, because me by myself, I couldn't do all of this by myself. It took a team. So thank you everybody. Have a good night.